Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Louie, and yes, I know that probably if anyone is still left out there interested in this, you probably gave up on it. I don't blame you, but I am back. I've got this episode of The Great War coming up, and then I'll have another episode of Commander the Great War. And then we'll see, I'll explain later what's going on. So you can see here I'm actually trying to encourage the AI to do something because it's sitting on its butt doing nothing. Now when I recorded this, unfortunately, I just recorded the gameplay. I did not want to do the commentary at the same time because my phone was ringing and whatever. So I forgot, though, when you take out the mic noises, you take out the sound of the game. So you'll have no noise from the game, no battles, whatever. Sorry about that. For those of you that bothers, I'm sorry. But you'll notice I pulled back from the coast of Turkey, trying to maybe encourage the AI to take that big, huge UK army it's got to have somewhere and do something with it. Up here you can see in the Kessel I'm using the battleship to hit the artillery, which they so kindly put within striking distance. And I'm just kind of doing what I can to keep things interesting, and I'm hoping to stir up the AI. Now, what you're watching here on the video, I've edited out long, incredibly long wait times to make this move faster because nobody wants to sit and watch minute after minute of the computer just sitting there. I've left in some wait times, like right here, for a little while, just to give me some room to talk. But basically you can see down here the UK forces in the Middle East are kind of just shuffling back and forth. They're not doing much. Up here in Europe, we're hoping to get some attacks on the Kessel, and here we go. It is interesting that when the AI wants to, it can really launch a good attack. You can see they're coordinating. They've got the artillery, got some air power, got the land troops, and they actually push my guy back, and they fill in the gap, and they hit him again. So they wiped out an entire unit there of the Germans, and they have moved within another hex closer to Berlin. There they are, strengthening up the air unit, which they put right where I can attack it. You're going to know, this is a theme for this and the next episode, is the AI has this obsession with putting things right where you can get, where they can be and will be killed very easily, and it does not learn, which as a human playing is more than just a little frustrating. I do some attacking here. I'm pretty much on, strategically I'm on the defense, but on the other hand, if I get a shot at something, I'm going to take it. I thought I might be able to beat these guys up. As you can see, didn't work quite as well as I wanted it to, but there you go. You got to take some risks. And I'm trying to decide now just to reshuffle my forces. In the Kessel, boom, hit him. He's still there, but, I'm costing the AI points. And then down here, I'm, again, just to keep things kind of interesting, I'm going to move right along and beat him up a little bit. And then we'll see what the AI does. Obviously, most of the editing took place in the AI's turn because there were long periods of it doing absolutely nothing. And, you can see that they switched out. They put an armored car unit in, which, again, is not really good on defense either, but a little better than the unit they had there. But I do give the AI some slack here because I don't think it was designed with this kind of situation in mind. This is totally ahistorical, so I guess I can't blame it too much there. Now here we go. We got another AI attack. And again, this one's interesting. I mean, they've got the artillery there, and they've got, plenty of troops. Whether the AI is massing their best troops to attack is a whole nother question. But because, they outnumber me hugely. They have to, unless they've been disbanding units, which I can't imagine. But you don't see many of them there. Ah, and there you go. There's an artillery unit. Right on battleship corner there, I guess we can call it, where it's going to be shelled for sure. So you see, and you'll notice too, it does hop around sometimes. I will go to places where there is nothing I can see and sit there for a while it thinks or whatever. So I don't know if that means there are things there it's moving or what. But so here I am, got to build my guys up, especially after last turn with those attacks that didn't really go so well. Obviously, I have to be very careful about this, but at the same time, you have to do something. Even when you're on the strategic defensive, tactically, you do attack at times. And so, to be checking that out, thinking, yeah, pretty good. So, yeah, I whacked a couple of points off of him. Didn't hurt anything. So why not? Turkey is still very much in the game. The AI could take it out if it maybe it just doesn't do well with invasions. That's probably what's happening here, because there are plenty of opportunities for it to cut off the Middle Eastern forces and just really mess Turkey up. But it's not doing that. And it's not being terribly aggressive up here. As you'll see later as we go through this, there are entire turns where very little, if anything, happens. So I'm kind of at a loss to explain it, other than the fact that perhaps it's just that this is something that's just messing the AI up. Because when I played it before, when it's attacking, it can be pretty aggressive. And obviously I ended up in this little pocket in Germany because it outplayed me. So I hate to say that, but there you go. Yeah, but right now it's just really slowed down ever since I assumed this position. I'm not quite clear why. Here I am, I got to shuffle those guys out. I've got to bring some people up. So you got to move the troops around in such a way that you don't leave any holes, which is you'll see a little later. I'm not sure if it's in this episode or the next one, but I have a little problem with that down the road. Here we are. Back down here, and everybody's at full strength pretty much, so let's knock some armored cars out, shall we? Yeah. Beat them up a little. And this is the first time I'm watching the edited version of this, and let me tell you something. This is so much more... Oh, there goes my supply ship. This is so much more enjoyable than what I sat through and recorded, where you had 5, sometimes 10 minutes where the computer did nothing, or almost nothing. It was kind of painful. This is a lot more fun. Don't thank me. It's my job. Okay, so we're just kind of sitting here, and it's thinking, and it's moving things around a little bit. You might think it'd really be pressing in, but you'd be wrong if you thought that, because the AI seems to be incredibly cautious. Or like I keep saying, just befuddled. There's some air power moving around. I'm dying to know what's out there in the hinterlands where I can't see. I'm sure there's got to be tons and tons of units. Here we go. Got a little action going on over here. But there's not much of a result on that. But at least something's going on. And for you, the viewer, and me, the player, that's good, because just playing a game where nothing happens is really boring. So hopefully this, my editing here will keep things moving along and at least be somewhat interesting for you. Although again, there's not a lot of attacking I can really do here without damaging myself, which I don't want to do very much of, obviously. So let's come back down here, but I can attack here and probably not hurt myself too much, so why not? Now the big decision was, do I take that hex or not? And you can see that I'm thinking about it. And I'm thinking, right out there could be some big units to really wallop me. So I decided not to cross the canal. Probably should have, but at this point I didn't. Because I just thought, man, there could be tons of units there, wipe me out, then they could come across the canal, outflank me, and then there goes Turkey. So I thought to play it safe, because, in reality, if this situation actually occurred, and I know if it did, the Turks would have made peace, but for some crazy reason they hadn't, I don't see why they would really push their luck very much. In fact, I think they'd be attacking less than I am in this game, so, just try to keep it somewhat realistic, I guess you could say. Here we go. Start attacking the town there a little bit, which is good. If they take that, then I'm in big trouble. So they do concentrate here on it. And as you can see, they're doing a pretty good job of really kind of slapping me around, which is good. And yeah, hit me again. And again, the computer jumps out. There's Portugal. And who knows what's going on there? Not me. But that's where they decided to end the turn, so I'm back. And I'll do my little tour here. Notice they did move up some reinforcements. That little garrison unit, so it's always nice to take pot shots at them. And once again, first thing to do is let's kill some artillery. Yeah! It's good to kill artillery. And so I got to pull him back. So now here goes the shuffle. Got to get him up here, clearly. And let's see, what else can I do here? Trying to figure out. Got to make some reserves, obviously, at this point. So I chose to abandon that little bulge in the line. And here, there's this weak unit there, so bam, hit him. Why not? Have some fun, you know? And watch that bulge that I just abandoned, because something very interesting does not happen for quite a while about that bulge, which surprised me. I guess I just wasn't really paying enough attention. AI's doing nothing up in Turkey, even though I did pull out of that port. Giving them a port, I thought maybe if I give the AI a port, but no, not yet anyway. So that's still hanging fire. And then they do the shuffle and bring a full strength garrison unit up for me to pick on next time. And back up here. Okay, that guy moves off. Probably gonna go back to the rest camp, take a little, sleep in some nice tents, have a warm shower, shave, that kind of thing. But over on the other side, get a little action here. Little artillery. Little firing over there. So there's some stuff going down. But you'll notice they're not making much headway. And look, it's an aviation unit flying in to establish themselves amidst the smashed piles and rubbles of uncounted artillery pieces, corpses, dead horses, and wagons that have been left behind by the smashed and torn up and utterly annihilated artillery units. And so, once again, I did kind of check about hitting that infantry unit, but why? Why do that when I can do so much more damage that way? So I thought, what the heck? And we'll strengthen a couple of guys. Should I strengthen these guys? Yeah, I decided I would, but hey, let's not sit around and do nothing, so hit him for 2 points. And turn it back to the AI. Let's see what might be happening here. And as you can see, the bulge, which I thought would probably be occupied, was not occupied. At least not yet. And boom, they're starting to hit me again. Apparently the AI's fixated there on Stettin. They can capture Stettin in the Baltic, as Churchill said. Then, that would definitely damage us. We'd lose our only port, and that would be a major accomplishment. Again, it likes to park down in southern Russia or Romania there for some reason, which I have no clue. Alright, coming back down here. Decide, yeah, let's reinforce our boys before we do any more fighting. I'm trying to, like I said, be pretty conservative. Forgot him last turn, but I get him this turn. And bam! I smack the aviation unit. And now, what am I going to do here with Stettin? So, move him. So far, so good. Yeah, I'd like to attack, but unless the odds are pretty good, I am not attacking. So, forget that. As you can see here, I'm looking at it, because I'm just, get a little antsy being almost totally defensive. And if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, yes, I know how you feel, because I'm antsy right now. Totally understand that. So here's the AI again. And I've cut this last session in half. You'll see half now, half in a minute or in a few days. Hello. So I'm not sure. I can't remember which happens where, but there are some interesting things that happen briefly down in the Middle East. Here we go, attacking these guys. And I'm just curious, how much artillery do they have? How many air units do they have? How much infantry do they have? And why aren't they throwing it all at me? Now you notice 8 there is yellow, so he's being worn down. So I decided I'll pull this guy up there. So I've got reserves. I can shuffle them in and out, try to keep them reinforced and recoup their, their morale. And since there's nobody, they didn't park anybody there. Yeah, well, I'll take a shot at. And bam, I decided to take a shot at him too, and it worked. Drove him out. So pretty good turn for me there. And down here, time to attack again. And you can see, not like devastating anybody, but I'm costing them a little bit. I figure every little bit helps in this particular situation. So, just do what you can. Not only because it's strategically maybe a good idea, and there they go, swapping another little guy in there, another little garrison. But it kind of makes it a little more fun. And sometimes I have to remind myself when I play these games that we are supposed to be playing them for fun. Sometimes you can get so into winning or so into the historicity of it, and I think both those things are really important, that you kind of forget, it's got to be fun too. Which is why I tend not to play the really hyper detailed games, because I'm not a hyper detail guy, and at my age I don't remember as much as I used to, that's for sure. And sometimes you get into that kind of stuff and it just becomes a grind and number crunching, and it's not fun. Commander the Great War is a lot of fun. Now here's the AI being incredibly stupid. There we go, aviation unit, bam, right in the front line. I just, for the life of me, I don't get this. I mean, I hate to look a gift horse in the mouth. Now, here we go. The Navy shows up. Now, it's kind of interesting that they get to use the canal with enemy units right there, but they do. See, if I had advanced and held that hex, they wouldn't have been able to come through, but I didn't, so they did. So that was, I thought, kind of interesting. That finally, I've been waiting for the Navy to do something here besides knock off my supply ships. And, oh yeah, they put an artillery unit in the front line too, which is like, duh. So, blam, wiped him out, and blam, wiped him out, and I still had my battleship so I could take a point off of the infantry there. It's kind of, well, it's not kind of weird, it's very weird. And now I'm checking to see if I should do it, and that was probably a bad call because I lost 2. But, oh well, hey, you can't win them all, folks. This game being eloquent proof of that. So there's the Navy. And I decide I'm going to switch these guys around so I can get a leadership bonus on my attacks down here. And maybe take this guy out. Not quite. But bringing the Navy in, I've kind of been waiting to see if they would do anything with their naval superiority. And that's really one of the first things they've done beyond just killing supply ships. So we wait as the AI ponders. And here we go. They're not attacking Stettin, but they're attacking here. And actually, they can get, if they fill up those hexes, they could get 3 units after bombarding an air power. They could have 3 separate attacks on that hex, which should, they should be able. Oh, and there goes the artillery. It's the artillery graveyard, people, right there. And they threw one right in there for me. Thank you very much. I'm sure the gunners on the battleship have this firing solution completely worked out and memorized, so they're ready to go. And we're back to Portugal again, and that is just about going to do it for this one. I'm hoping to have the next video up in a few days, and then I don't know what's going to happen, because the truth is I'm out of well, my computer freezed and crashed while I was playing the game. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but as soon as I figure it out, I'll let you know. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you later.